Ah, it broke. Okay. Set that aside. A little bit about myself while I'm doing these carrots. I'm 37 years old. I have been cooking since I was about 5 years old. Learned on a gas stove. I was in the kitchen with my mom constantly when she was at home before she went back to work. And so, yeah, that was the start of it. Have I ever worked professionally in the kitchen? No. I've had friends tell me I should. Then I usually turn around and say, but they work too hard. And then at whatever job I'm doing at the time, I go ahead and work 16 hours straight. Figure the logic out in that. I can't. So, I've been cooking for over 30 years. No professional training. Been watching cooking shows for as long as I can remember. One of my favorite chefs, probably one of the first TV chefs in Canada that I remember. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but it was North American style Chinese food. They even have one of his cookbooks. He was based in BC, I think Vancouver specifically. He was a very big influence on me loving cooking. So, well, if you're here watching this, why don't you post a comment and put down some of your earliest memories of cooking in the kitchen that you did, or your influences. And what really drew you to this particular video. Love to hear from you. Okay. Well, I think that's enough of this. Alright. So I'll get this off the cutting board. This is a pretty big bowl. Now, if you only do a half a cabbage, it's not going to be as packed as this, as awkward to cook it, and all that kind of stuff. However, I want to make a lot of these. I want to throw them in the freezer. I'm not going to be able to show you the freezer ones, which is a shame. On to ginger now. But I did some experiments earlier in the week, just to be safe. I'm using a fair amount. It's a pretty big chunk. If you notice, I haven't really given it too many measurements. It's mostly because I kind of wing it a lot of the time. Peel the skin off here. As I was saying, I did some experiments, and to my surprise, freezing rice paper and then cooking it up, either from thawing it out or cooking it frozen, believe it or not, in both deep frying and baking, you get a fantastic result. And anybody who has gone gluten-free knows how difficult it is to get any decent texture of doughs and, well, pretty much of everything. So it's wonderful to have a nice alternative. So I'm going to be dicing this ginger. So let's see. I'll give some kind of a measurement. I'll put it in the description below of things, but let's see here. This is about 2 tablespoons of fresh ginger, give or take. And had 4 carrots, 2 onions, 1 package of bean sprouts. I would have to look at the weight. Not very much, but I mean, you can use as much or as few bean sprouts as you want. Just know that they don't last that long in the fridge. And 1 full, I'd say a medium to large cabbage I used for this. I have seen bigger cabbages, but yeah, somewhere between medium and large, I'd say. Nuts, I've got paper towels. Now, if you notice here, the kind of technique I'm doing is I'm holding the front end of the blade here. It's not coming off the board at all. I'm just rocking it back and forth here. And I'm getting a pretty decent dice out of it. I will be adding some garlic. For convenience, we actually buy pre-minced garlic in a jar that has canola oil. I would prefer fresh, but this lasts longer in the fridge. Which is good when you have an apartment that in the summertime turns into the most incredible sauna you can come across for free. Okay, there we go. I guess you can say the most expensive if you're paying rent. No. Okay. Yeah, that's about 2 tablespoons of ginger. I like it a little bit ginger heavy. I love that root. It has the most incredible flavor. It's hard to describe. But you can eat it raw. You can eat it with the skin if you want to. Peeling it's just a little bit nicer. Okay, at this point we'll be moving into the kitchen to do all the cooking. I'll see you there. Mike, you want to kill it?